My name is Brandon and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video. Hey everyone and welcome back to Is That More Brandon. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a review for the 40th episode of Love Island, and this came out on the 24th of February, which was a Friday. So at the beginning of the episode, and to finalise the week's Love Island, Max and Olivia had a quick chat where he basically said to her that she'd been acting funny with him, and Shaq said obviously it could be a great thing what has happened between him and Tanya, or it could be a mistake that the two of them can obviously learn from. With Jessie, she said she's obviously in the same boat as Shaq, kind of not knowing whether to continue with that relationship or whether to kind of just call it ends. And Claudia said to Casey that he seemed really relaxed, especially what happened after the movie night. We found out that Kai was actually going to be going on a first date with Rosie, and Casey was also going to be going on a first date with Rosie, and Sammy and Jessie were both going to be going on a first date with Keenan. So obviously Keenan and Rosie, the two new Islanders, or the new bombshells, and Claudia said that she hopes that Rosie is not better than her. Tom and Will saying that Casey could potentially have his head turned here. Shaq and Tanya were obviously about to have a quick chat, and she basically said to him, do you mind me sitting close to you? Because obviously it was a bit awkward between the two of them last time, so she had to kind of ask for permission first. And he basically said to her that the way he feels about her is not like how he's felt for anyone else before, adding that it's obviously special. And they both kind of agreed that obviously shouting out against each other across the table was obviously not a good look. And Tanya basically said that when Shaq isn't here, she feels like that she's empty. And then obviously we saw little snippets of the dates. So Kai and Rosie had a quick date, and she said that she was excited, and obviously, ironically, her and him had matching outfits. And Jessie with Keenan noticed that he was Irish, initially and originally brought up from Wigan. Rosie said that she's an industry placement advisor, so obviously in a kind of similar industry to Kai. And Keenan explained to Jessie that he plays in the rugby league, but he's obviously not wanting to leave home yet at the moment because obviously it's a big commitment. Kai said he obviously wants to be with someone who has similar goals, and it's the most natural and organic way to get to know somebody by just going on some dates. Jessie said that obviously if Will and her can fix things, he's going to be the priority, but if they don't, then obviously she's open. And Keenan basically said, well, obviously, Will explored with somebody else in Casa Amor, so do you not think it's fair for yourself, and do you not deserve yourself to obviously explore? And she basically said that she was fighting against herself, against kind of wanting to explore someone else, but also not wanting to lose what she had with Will. And then with Kai and Rosie, I think he tried to throw some like yellow things, which potentially was food. She couldn't catch them in her mouth. Then he actually ate one himself and then went on to say that's not edible. So I'm not sure what he ate. It might have been some sort of like candle or part of the set, but it wasn't food. And then obviously the second dates were Keenan and Sammy, and obviously Casey with Rosie. So with Keenan and Sammy, she said obviously she was from North London, and he kind of took the mick out of her for having a Cockney kind of accent. He said obviously those from Wigan are obviously known for eating pies. Casey and Rosie both complimented each other on their natural teeth, or natural enough, with Casey also saying that she had lovely eyes. Keenan said that obviously he doesn't really want to be with someone who bothers too much about what they look like, with Sammy saying that fun comes first, but obviously that she couldn't swim. And he also said that he couldn't swim, so she said, well, that's not great because then we'll both drown. Casey explained to Rosie that he's obviously not closed off. She said that she wanted to have fun. And he said that he hasn't got any bad words to say about Claudia, but he is obviously open to getting to know Rosie. And she said that Casey seems to have got a lot more to give. Wait for her to get in there and she'll obviously cause some trouble. And Sammy explained to Keenan that she's not had an easy journey with Tom over the last few days, but they are kind of starting to rebuild from where they were at before. Will had a quick chat with Sanam and asked whether she'd spoken to Kai about obviously being exclusive, and he then went on to say that he's a little bit worried about Jessie. Tom said to Claudia that she doesn't have anything to worry about, with Claudia saying that it's obviously difficult to watch, especially if there is a connection between the two of them. And Will asked the boys if they had to be worried, with Keenan saying he's not sure until obviously he has got to know all of the girls. Rosie said that there's obviously nothing to worry about with Kai. Her date with Casey was really good, and Claudia basically said, look, there's no drama here, you've got to do what you've got to do, so if you want to get to know him, that's absolutely fine. Casey said to the boys, obviously, he wanted to chat to Rosie a little bit more, and that all of the boys will like her. And then with Sammy and Jessie, Jessie basically said, obviously, Keenan's a nice guy. I think that both of them here basically pretty much said that they're not interested because Jessie is still in love with Will, and obviously Sammy still likes and still loves Tom. With Claudia and Jessie, Claudia basically said to Jessie that she can see this going the wrong way, so I think the two of them had a little private chat inside the main villa, and she was kind of like, look, I don't like having these kind of thoughts and feelings, but I just have a feeling that this girl has been brought in at this time to mess things up, and like she's going to take him away from me. Tom and Sammy then had a quick chat, and she basically said that Keenan's got a good chat and he's confident. She kind of just made it pretty clear where her head was standing. And Casey said to Claudia that obviously Rosie is a very nice girl, she's friendly, she's good looking, but he told her that things are great between him and Claudia. He said he's obviously going to want to speak to her and give her the time of day. Claudia said that she's happy that he's come back the way that he has, kind of being open rather than completely closed off or completely head turned. Olivia also said to Claudia that he obviously doesn't see his head turning. We saw Kai and Sanam cuddling, and Jessie basically said, not while I'm in the room. So I think they were all in the bathroom getting ready for bed, and Jessie was just kind of there like, can you just like not? Rosie said that obviously Casey's quite nice, with Claudia obviously not happy about the situation. Claudia basically said to Casey that she thinks that Rosie was going to go for him, with Rosie saying that obviously she wants to be loved. Will asked Jessie if she was okay. She said she was 100% fine. And Tom actually said that the new girl was 100% drop dead gorgeous, with Shaq saying that Casey was in trouble. And then obviously Rosie decided to do a little coffee club debrief with the girls, and she said she was excited to have a full day on job. Rosie then had a quick chat with Keenan, and obviously both the new bombshells kind of working out where they wanted to go. Rosie said that obviously it's quite easy, you'll get the vibes straight away, but she's going to want to talk to everyone. And Keenan says that he might get on with Claudia, saying that obviously she's going to have to just take whatever happens on the chin and just deal with the situation. Obviously in the morning, Keenan and Claudia had a quick chat, and he noticed that they were matching clothes, adding that the both of them did it on purpose. And then obviously Sammy was talking to Claudia, so she was kind of just like, well, who am I going to talk to now? Keenan said obviously Sammy is probably his most type, but he also does like Claudia as well. And Casey said to Shaq that if obviously he does like the new girl, it's going to obviously hurt Claudia. And Shaq said that when he came back from the date, he seemed really, really happy and really, really like beaming. So maybe even some of the boys can see that Casey is having a lot more of a connection with a girl he's just gone on a date with, as opposed to someone he spent a few days with. And Casey said he didn't want to kiss her. He'd obviously felt guilty about that situation. And then obviously he then went to have a chat with Rosie. He said he didn't expect the date to go as well as it did. And Claudia said that she can see what's coming, with Sammy saying that she needs to back herself a little bit more. And Casey saying he obviously needs to be careful with what he says because he doesn't want to upset any of the two girls. Rosie and Martin had a quick chat, and she basically said that her favourite holiday was in Greece. She's a Cancer sign, and obviously we're the best. Martin saying he's Taurus, and apparently they are the most compatible. And Martin basically said he was obviously leaving the best chat till last by obviously getting to know Rosie very briefly, but I think at this point he pretty much had no other options. The situation with Tanya was over and there was no one else there for him. Olivia and Keenan had a quick chat. She basically noticed obviously he was in matching outfits with Claudia, and she said that he liked his confidence, and obviously she wants people to be cheeky. Keenan said that he obviously goes for girls with dark features, and obviously Olivia and Sammy are a lot more like similar in type, with Olivia saying, oh, I'm a nice girl. She basically said to him that he deserves a chance just as much as anybody else does in the villa. With Ron and Claudia, Claudia said that it feels not great, that he's not spoken to her all day, with Ron saying that she should just do what she wants to do and let him just do his thing. And Lana saying that obviously it shows that you care. He obviously just needs to give her a little bit more reassurance. With Claudia saying that she doesn't want to feel like this, it's not her. So I think it's in that weird little situation of this new girl's just come in, potentially going to steal her man. She doesn't want to have that, she wants him to herself, but she knows that if he wants to go and explore and it works out to be better than what they've got, then she'll obviously have to recouple with someone else, or that means she could potentially be in danger because again there's no one else there for her at the moment either. And then obviously Will and Sammy had a quick chat, and they both noticed that there was a massive change in Jessie's vibe. Claudia said that obviously she felt like she could cry all day, but she obviously doesn't want to. And Claudia said to Casey that obviously she feels like she's got mixed emotions, with Casey saying that she'd only just told him that now she's shut off because a new girl has come into the villa, and with Claudia saying that she doesn't want to be an option, she wants to be someone's everything. And Olivia said to Claudia that he obviously should have spoken to her today, and obviously she should be the priority, bearing in mind he's known her longer than this Rosie girl. But obviously, yeah, it's a bit of a difficult situation, especially when you want to get to know someone. You have to work out how much time you want to give. Tom actually said to Casey as well that he doesn't think Casey likes Claudia as much as she likes him, asking what is it missing, and Casey obviously said, I don't know. They then got a text that they all had to gather around the fire pit, and it was a recoupling where obviously the girls were recoupling with the boys. So obviously before anyone else got to pick Keenan and Rosie, they were able to choose. So Keenan decided to couple up with Claudia, and obviously Rosie decided to couple up with Casey. So not only do we have 2 new couples, we've actually split up Casey and Claudia, so that's a little bit of a problem. They could actually both have their heads turned by someone else. That's a bit of an interesting one. Obviously Lana chose Ron, Olivia chose Maxwell, Sanam chose Kai, Jessie chose Will, Sammy chose Tom, and it was up to Tanya whether she obviously wanted to couple with Shaq or stay coupled up with Martin. She obviously decided to couple up with Shaq, and that meant that Martin was the next Islander to be dumped from the villa. He basically said, "I'll see you guys in a bit," as he was leaving. And to Casey, Martin said that he would give Casey the crown as best dressed in the villa. And just before Martin left, he said that it would have been the best experience of his life, and that's what he would say, but it wasn't the best experience. And he kind of hinted at Tanya that she did nothing wrong. Well, actually, you did do something wrong. So again, there's a little bit of a giggle there, and he said, yeah, no hard feelings. So that was pretty much it in terms of episode 40. So that is now the next week of Love Island done. So we are starting again from Sunday, so another 2 weeks to go. But yeah, if you did enjoy this review, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. There'll be another one coming very, very soon. And until then, thank you for watching and goodbye.